I am testing out Loom today, and I decided that there's a few videos that I want to make, and how do I make this on this thing? Am I just doing editing videos or whatever? And one of the videos I was about to shoot was my gear for 2023. We're in October 2023 now, so I kind of want to show you guys what I have, and I thought it'd be cool just to kind of go on B&H website because everybody has access to it, just to be able to show you guys what I'm using currently. And I think I'll be switching my camera soon, but I'm not sure. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jeremy with Jeremy Lou Photography. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Video helps channel, we get a thumbs up, and then click that bell for notifications. It'll tell you every time I come on. So guys, we're on the B&H website now. What I will say is I have a local camera company here called camera shop called Action Camera. They're in here, and then they're in Roseville or Sacramento, and I use them for everything. In fact, I buy all my gear from them, but not everybody has one of those places. So if you don't, B&H is a great place. They're based out in New York. If you're in New York, you can actually just go into a store and talk to them, which is awesome. We just didn't have that, but Action Camera has everything here. And typically, I find that all the gear is price matched based off of the people, the companies that are doing it. So we are going to dive in, and I'm going to try to show you guys as much as I can of the gear that I'm using now. I am a professional commercial, wedding, and portrait photographer. This is gear that I use every single day. I'm a strobist. I use flash. I use LED lighting. I use anything that I need at the time. So I always deal with two cameras. I'm redundant, right? So I have at least two of everything, and that's just as what I have. Technology has changed so much from when I first started, where flashes were Einsteins, and you had to have a cord, and you had to have a vagabond battery. Now everything is battery based. It just plugs in, and you're just in it. So let's go through as much as I can, and if I miss anything or you guys have questions, let me know. This is gear that I am actually using now. If you guys are looking at this and you're like, dude, this is expensive AF, let me know. I will show you guys in a different video some modifications of that if you guys are interested in that. If not, this is what I'm using. And I am budget conscious, believe it or not. Like I look at things and I see the brand, and you'll see kind of things that I'm using aren't the pro photos of everything, because I don't believe that it matters. I don't think that anybody can actually tell. And I know some pro photos can be like, bro, try a pro photo, you'll know. My studio mate uses a pro photo system, and looking at our images side by side, you have no idea what kind of lighting we're using. And if you can, tell me how, because I don't know how. All right, so let's get into it right away. So the first thing we're using is our Canon R6s, right? So right now there's an R6 version 2. I am using the version 1, and it doesn't even look like they're selling it anymore, which is not a good sign for me. All right, cool. Right here. So right now, oh my God, are you kidding me? They have a $600 off this camera. I don't know how I feel about that. That's insane price. I bought this 2,500 about 2 years ago. And then, yeah, so the price now of the Mark II was the original price. So, guys, that's a great deal. If you're not shooting mirrorless yet, if you're on a 5D Mark IV, Mark III, whatever, it's time to go to mirrorless. The technology's there. So I have two of these babies. It's a mirrorless camera, no shutter. And you can electronic. We can shoot high-speed sync. We can see our shots before we shoot it. So no more chimping, no more looking anymore. But this camera is amazing. It's been a game changer. I did go to Sony first. I had an issue with my Sony A7 IIIs. Anybody that shoots with an A7 III Sony, I will tell you just to look up shutter lock on Facebook, on Instagram, on anything. Just research it, because I had two cameras shutter lock on me at a wedding, and I had to reverse engineer how to shoot, and I was able to do it. But this is a great price for this. I also have with this battery grip, right? So I have the grips that come with this. I don't know what it's called per se. Oh, here. But I have the Canon itself. They make these third-party dealers. I would recommend the Canon one. So this is a Canon BG-R10. I want to say that it's going to work with the R6 Mark II as well. So if you have the R6 now and you're going to upgrade, I'm not going to upgrade to the Mark II. I'm waiting for the next one, but it should work with it. I would get the Canon one because it's all Canon and you don't really want a third party on there. Some things third party is just not worth it, right? So we have this will allow you to put two batteries into it. And then it'll also allow you to shoot vertically. So it has all the same camera functions vertically. So if you shoot like this, you turn the camera, you're still shooting like this, but in a vertical format. This also gives you a better grip on your hands, double the battery life. We already talked about that. This is a way to go. And extra batteries that I actually just use Watson batteries. I use third-party batteries. I have a crap ton of them. You can get this Pawa thing for $29. There's no, oh, it's out of stock. There's no reason to get the Canon batteries. They work perfectly fine. They read perfectly fine. Everything's perfectly fine. Canon's trying to charge way too much for batteries. And actually, I have these Manfrotto ones right here. I feel like that's really expensive. I feel like this is not the right price, but I did buy these for like $60 for two back in the day. I just like them because they're red. They're cool looking. So I got those. They were cool looking. And then an extra charger as well, right? So I have those. So those are my cameras, my systems. And then let's go through the lenses that I use, right? So I use let's start with the 100 um, macro lens. So I use all Canon lenses, what are they calling them? They're calling them, are they still L mounts? Yeah, L. So you'll see I'm pointing to my screen like you guys can see that, the 2.8 L. So I have this Canon 100 millimeter. If you guys follow my channel, you guys know that I've done a series of each lens that I use, how I use it, and why I use it. So this is my ring lens. This is my detail lens. This is my eyelash, my lip lens for my bride. It's a great portrait lens as well, but this is how you get those butterflies up in there, the beads, get really close into those shots. This is the lens that you're going to be using to make that happen. And it's my favorite lens. It's also image stabilization. And like I said, it's a great portrait lens. So if you're looking for a dual lens, maybe you wanted to get an 85 mil, but you can't right now. This is what it is. It is $12.99. Oh my God, what's the difference here? Oh, crap, guys. So sorry. This is an EF lens, but this is cheaper. RF. We're going to be looking at RF lenses because the Canon mirrorless R6 is an RF mount, but it's freaking $1,000. It's $300 off. It's cheaper. This is the way to go. And so I've actually had both of these depending on my camera system. Let's go to the 70 to 200. Let's take out this word, a macro. And so I have, nope, not this one. Let's just hit this. So there's two different versions of this. There is a 2.8 and then there's a 4.0. This is up to your preference. You can see how much cheaper this is. $12.99 to $25.99. I do have the 2.8 because I shoot everything at 2.8 or wider on my aperture. I just prefer that look. It feels better. It looks better to me. But if you're in a pinch or you don't really use it that much, maybe you're only pulling out your 7200 for ceremonies, maybe for sporting events where your kid's running around or something. The F4 is perfectly fine. But if you're doing this professionally, I would say go for this one. It is $200 off right now. And then, with these videos, it could get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper for you guys. So we don't even know. This is my ceremony lens, my long distance lens. I don't use it that often, guys. I don't use this that often. Headshot in the studio lens, maybe if I want to pull far back and get there, maybe get the compression. For the price that I paid for this, I don't use it as much as you would think I do. Then we're going to go to an 85. 85 is my dude lens, is what I call it. This is also a 1.2 modifier, right? 1.2 lens modifier, 1.2 aperture lens. 26.99. Yeah, I paid that. There's two different versions of this, guys. There is this one and this one. I do know the difference, or I did at one point, and I just don't know the difference right now. I got this one, and I haven't noticed any change or lack or whatever. I want to say it's just something like defocus, blue spectrum, something with the lens. But like I said, I've never noticed it. And for $300, or 200, no, $300, I don't really know if they notice the difference too, because the price point's not that big of a difference. So I would go with this one. This is my portrait lens, guys. I use these for headshots, for dudes at weddings, for senior portraits. Typically, this lens is always on me at all the time. And anytime it's a portrait shot, or if I want to get really cool eye, because I shoot this at 1.2 all the time. And that's why I have that 1.2 lens. It's beautiful. My go-to lens for everything is the 28 to 70 lens. So, we used to make those videos where people used to talk and like, hey, if you can only have one lens, what would it be? And we'd be like, that's stupid. You need to have all these lenses. Well, I'm going to tell you now, this is like that lens, right? This is like if you had to have only one lens, if I had to go shoot a vacation, a wedding, a portrait session and I'm like, oh my God, all my gear has been stolen. And what do I need to buy right now? I need to buy a camera and a lens. What do I need to get? This is that lens and I can do everything in this. 28 to 70, not super wide, wide enough to get some cool things. No distortion on the wide end as well. 70 is a little bit past what our eye can see, right? So it's so in there you'll have a 35, you'll have a 50 within there. So as you're shooting, so if you're used to shooting, say like Sigma 35 or Sigma 50, the art lenses, which are super popular, this is a way to get into there as well. So for $28.99, this gets you theoretically like 3 or 4 different lenses in there, if that helps you, if that's the way you like to think. But this lens does everything. It's f2.0 as well, which is insane because 24 to 70 used to be the standard, but that was 2.8. A 2.0 is super noticeable, and I shoot it all the time, and I freaking love this thing. And then I do have a Canon 14 to 35 RF lens, f.0. If you guys look at my website, my portfolio, you'll see these epic grand wide shots, and this is typically what this is used for. And I use these for weddings as well. This is kind of a fun extra lens, if you will. I do wish it was a 14 like 2.0, 1.4, 1.8. Sigma does make it, not for the RF lens, for the EF, but you can get a converter if you guys want. But this is like that epic wide shot, and then dancing shots. When I'm in close and I'm dancing or shooting an event, I'm inside and I'm like this close to people. So I want to make sure that I can get in there, and I just leave it at 14. I just go ham. Also, this is great for distortion shots. So I'll have my son walk up to it and do some cool like BC Boys kind of things. And so you can play with this. This lens is versatile. It can do so much stuff. You just have to be a little creative with it and play with it a little bit. It will distort on the sides. So you don't want to shoot somebody, let's say, that's overweight or body conscious of being overweight. You don't want to put them on the edge of this frame because they'll actually get wider in it. It'll be an illusion. They won't like it. Do not do that. And then the other trick is going in this lens, shooting super wide horizontally, landscape mode. And then when you crop, you actually crop it into portrait, and it actually looks beautiful. It looks amazing. So a little side note into this, but this is, I would call a specialty lens for you. But this is great also if you shoot landscape, if you shoot architecture, stuff like that. Just know that you're going to be going in and tweaking a lot of those photos because you have to. So I think I've hit my camera, my lenses. Let's go into some lighting here. So Godox is like the thing, right? Godox is what I'm all about. And I'm just going to type Godox. Let's actually, I think it won't let me do that on this website. So the Godox AD200s are kind of my go-to. I use these for my flash for everything. I use a Magbox system. These are amazing, $349. You can usually find them on sale a couple times a year. I bought them as low as $199. And then a lot of people do sell these on the side. It comes usually with a Fresnel lens, this one on the left, and then the other one, which looks like a bulb. So you can use either one of those. I actually the bulb one just sits in a closet somewhere. I've never used it at all. But these are super powerful. I want to say they're like 5 times the power of a speed light or something like that. But I can put 1 or 2 into my system. I use these with the Magbox system. If you guys don't know what Magbox is, amazing company, magnet-based everything. They are just killing the game. Let's go, team. But they have all these. I actually buy Magbox through their website, but since you guys can see the different angles here. So basically how this works is they have a little, it's all magnet based. This is all magnet based right here, and it pops into it. Your flash will then pop into that with a little accessory. Boom, done. Takes 2 seconds to set up. You guys can find my videos and watch me do some setup of it. And I think it took me like 15 seconds to set up. Magbox, all these accessories are what you do. It starts with a Bowens mount and goes from there, but these are super versatile. I love them. They pack up really nice and tight, so I actually take them to a lot of my shoots. But if I want something a little bit bigger, I use the Godox AD400s. And so Godox goes like 80, 100, 200, 400, 600, and so on, depending on the size, right? These are what I used to use a lot in studio. So I use these in studio, and all-in-one outdoor flash, it is battery based, guys. So basically you charge the battery just like your, I don't know, camera, and then you put the battery in and it's good to go. So what you see here is it. There's no cords, there's nothing. It just goes onto here. You buy a Godox brand modifier. I use Westcott modifier that goes on here. Basically any Bowens mount. I use the Westcott, oh my God, Westcott modifier. I don't know, we'll just say modifier. I use Westcott for it, but basically anything that uses a Bowens mount, you guys can do. Godox makes a ton. And what I mean by that, if you don't know what I mean, is that the ring, the inside of it that fits into it has to match and connect. So there's a few different ones. ProPhoto has their own, Einstein has their own, or Alien Bees has their own. So these right here are what I use for my modifiers for that. And I have 3 of those. I keep them in a Pelican case and they work out fairly well. The new thing that I'm using as far as lighting going is the Godox SL 150. Yeah, so I use these ones, the daylight video, $60 off right now. These are super cheap and these are LED lights. In the studio, I have the capability in my studio to make it completely black and dark, right? Because that's just how my studio works. So I use these all the time. So when I use these, I don't need a trigger. I can just set up my lighting, look at them and shoot it. And it's been kind of a game changer. LED's kind of been the way everything goes. Also, when I have videos come in or interview comes in, I'm a commercial photographer, so a lot of times I'll hire video or I'll bring in video as well. And we're now able to shoot video with we're now able to shoot video and photo at the same time without having to turn off and on lights or my flash is getting in the way or anything like that. And that's the biggest reason I did it. But these things are bright, they're amazing, they're less than $300 each, which if you remember the even the 8200s were like 350. You get 3 or 4 of these in your studio, you're done. You wouldn't use these outside on location, sadly, unless it's dark and pitch black at night to get the best out of it. I mean, you can use it during the day, you'll get a little hint of it, but you're not going to be happy. That's when flash comes into play. So as a commercial photographer, I have to have both. If you're just doing headshots in a studio, newborns in a studio, something like that, this is the way to go. I'm telling you right now, this is the way to go. Oh, and then on camera, Godax, on camera flash, oh God, I forgot what it's called. Speed light. Let me just, hopefully this pops up here. Oh, here's what I use. The Canon, the Godox V1 for Canon. This is the one that sits on top of your camera, and I buy a little extra bulb unit with it, a modifier like this stuff right here that comes with it. Godox does make one that magnetizes onto the top of it. And what we do with that is that just sits on my camera. It also acts as a trigger, so it can trigger other Godox flashes. The cool thing is Godox works all together. Any Godox system that you have works all together. So you can buy just one of their triggers, which is right, I just saw it right here, this thing, this trigger, and it's usually under $100. This is with the flash, so you can buy this whole system. This will trigger any Godox flash that I mentioned before, but this will also trigger any Godox flash that I mentioned before. So if you have to get one or the other, I just need something on my camera for when I shoot events or something, just a little kiss of light onto it. If you guys follow my YouTube channel, you'll see how I use that. But that works great, and that's kind of my whole flash system. The other things that I love right now, and again with Godox, TL, please something pop up, 60. These are little tiny tube lights, guys. These are tube lights, and I want to say these are the right ones. I have a 4-pack of these, and they sell these accessories that go with it, but basically brackets that you can put on together, but I don't use it as brackets. So think of like a ring light, but LED lights. They're about 12 inches long, boom, boom. So you get 4 of them, full RGB, full color. If you're doing video, you can do like police lights. You can do all this stuff with it, right? And so you're able to now have that control. So when I shoot weddings and I'm shooting the shoes or rings or whatever, I need a little extra light, or I say I'm inside a dark room and I can't bring a flash in, I will then have my assistant hold this to get some light onto my bride, or just add a kiss of light to the cake or something like that. So not only do I have these, I also have the 120s, which are not that. Godox 120. I see it popping up, but then when I click on it, it doesn't do anything. TL, do I have to add TL? Cool. These are 4-foot lights. So same thing, but I bought this. So right now they're $12.99. I bought them on a random sale on B&H for $800. But these are 4 of those lights. So they're 4 massive 4-foot lights. And if you go onto my website now, you'll see a Star Wars type shot with a blue light and a red light. And that was using just that. And I photoshopped a little bit of it off. But these are great for the dance floor. So if you're on a dance floor and say you're at a location where the DJ didn't bring any lights, you can put 4 of these in the corners, any color you want. And then now you have ambient light to kind of play and rock with. You can do some really cool long exposure shots with these, but they're 4 foot long. And then you can actually use them in studio as well to create your triangle headshot, which I'm a very big fan of. But basically a light here and 2 lights here. I'm looking at myself right here. And then you can create this really cool light. They're LED, they're battery use, but you can plug them in and use them at the same time. So I've done a lot of commercial shoots with these. So that little lighting kit right there is money. Is it needed? No. If you have the other lights, cool, but like it's fun to have kind of thing. What else do I have? So we have our lenses, our flashes. Um, I want to say that's kind of good with this video. That's kind of good. I use the Think Tank Airport. So I use this bag right here, the Think Tank International V3 Care. No, I use this one, Security. This goes into any plane carry-on. You're able to put a bunch of stuff, all the stuff I mentioned in here. Well, not all of it will fit in here, but all my camera gear and all that. Of course, we have memory card holders. We have, floss. I have thread. I have all these little things that I need. Pens, pencils, all that stuff. But that's kind of the bulk of it. It all fits into here. And then when I'm shooting, I'm wearing a Peak Design messenger bag. And I rock this bad boy right here. This is what I wear every single day. This goes over my shoulder. I put 2 or 3 lenses in it, or a flash, or whatever I need, so I can quickly swap out. And if I'm at a wedding, I have an assistant that I hire that wheels my stuff around with me, so I don't have to worry about it. Or if I'm on a portrait shoot, then I bring my whole thing. I secure everything, maybe put it on a location, and then wear my bag to walk with me, so I have easy access to grab what I need to grab. I can throw in like people's phones and keys and stuff like that in there, and I have my business cards and all that. But having a shoulder bag in this is amazing. And then what I actually use to carry my cameras, and you guys know this because if you follow me, you see me wear it all the time, is a Spider Holster dual camera system. Um, oh my God, there's a $68 coupon on this. This is money. So $275. This will hold 2 cameras on your hips, nothing on your shoulders other than your Peak Design bag. But I'm not a fan of the shoulder things because it hurts your shoulders. Also, when it's hot and say I'm wearing a shirt like this, I'll get sweat marks from all that stuff if I'm wearing like a hold fast gear or something. And sadly, I have like 10 hold fast straps. I just don't wear them anymore. They just don't work. They hurt my shoulders. They hurt my neck. So this helps my hips a lot. And so I can carry 1 camera here, 1 camera here. There's a lens on this one, a lens on this one, and I can put 3 lenses into my design bag. Game over. Done. Have a good freaking day. All right, I think that's good. We're at 20 something minutes. Guys, let me know. Did I do this okay? Did I miss anything? What is it that you have or want that you think you need? And we can talk about it. But I appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. I've been on YouTube for so long, and now all of a sudden it's like hitting, it's going crazy. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're having a good day. I will talk to you next time. Bye.